Oh, something snapped. Okay, thank God it was only his crown of thorns. What is my job? Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am Jen, this is Fundy Fridays, and here on my channel I usually talk about different aspects of Christian fundamentalism, American conservative politics, pop culture, and gay stuff. And today I guess we're talking about different aspects of Christian fundamentalism, because what's more evangelical coded than Jesus intellectual property branded generic Lego knockoff interlocking plastic bricks that depict our Lord and Savior being crucified. I have been trying to pass the time in between Duggar updates, and I was perusing the internet for interlocking plastic bricks. And because I am constantly buying weird religious stuff, my algorithm fused and I started getting advertised Christian generic Legos. You know, I couldn't just stop at one. All right, so I bought several. I tried not to get any repeats, but all different styles are represented across the Legos that I bought. Interestingly enough, most of these are made in China and they seem to have European distributors. I don't know how that works, but I thought that would be fun. And originally I was going to make a Patreon video about this, but it took me so much time and effort to put these stupid things together that I was like, I gotta make this a regular video. If you weren't aware, Legos are the classic Danish interlocking plastic bricks that have been a staple of childhoods worldwide for several decades now. And Christians love commercialized tie-ins that remind them of their faith, plus they need to keep their hands busy because we all know what idle hands lead to. And I suppose there's nothing inherently sinful about Legos. The little humanoid guys don't even have genitalia.
There's still a mound.
Let alone souls. Although, if that is true, then did Lego Jesus really die for our sins?
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they are doing.
And yes, that is a real movie. It is a part of a larger genre of amateur biblical Lego short films. Perhaps we'll talk about that one day. Bricks I'm laying today are non-denominational. Well, I just found out about Catholic bricks. Although you guys would probably be amused to know about a company called Brigham Young, which are Mormon-themed interconnecting plastic bricks. Recently featured in an excellent Alyssa Grenfell video, this Mormon toy company makes replica Mormon temples and Bible scenes that you can purchase from their website. I didn't buy any Brigham Young products for this episode because, funny enough, when James and I went to visit Jordan and McKay a few years ago, we actually attempted to build a Brigham Young temple. And unfortunately, we did not finish in time, and the last time I checked in on it, it was laying unassembled in a cardboard box in Jordan and McKay's basement, which is probably the best place for it. Now, I'm not building any churches today, although I would be interested after maybe I recover from today's episode, because it was stressful building all these sets. I know that Lego makes these beautiful architectural sets that have famous cathedrals and different churches and things, and I would be open to building those. But today it's specifically crucifixes, and one is like a sacred Jesus heart, another one is Noah's Ark. I tried to really try all the different categories today, but I have come up with a ranking system, and not unlike Paul Oleges's arbitrary random ranking system, I will be assigning them decibels. I will be assigning them rankings 1 through 5. I guess 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, and maybe there will be like 1.5 and 2.5 in a category. I don't know. But before we dive into that, it's time to hear a word from our sponsor. Speaking of toys for adults, this time ones that won't frustrate you and break off into pieces and fly across the room, today's episode is sponsored by Bellessa. Bellessa and I are teaming up to do a massive spicy toy giveaway. That's right, everyone who signs up using the link in my description will win a free rose suction toy with their order. Now, I can't show you what this toy looks like because they are watching me. But honestly, at this point, I don't think I even need to tell you what it looks like. You already know. This flower-shaped toy is iconic for a reason. Portable, powerful, rechargeable, splash-proof, silent, and featuring 10 mind-blowing suction modes. What's not to love? You guys know Bellessa. You love Bellessa. We want to scream their name from the rooftops because they are a bi-woman company that's for everyone, that focuses on empowering us all to explore our pleasure and have fun. Just like the topic of today's episode. Yeah. But above all else, Bellessa wants you to have fun, all without shame, stress, judgment. Bellessa is the #1 most trusted sexual wellness brand for a reason. Their toys are made from medical grade, body safe silicone, and both the packaging, shipping labels, and charging case are nondescript and nonchalant. Seriously, they look like a little colorful glasses case or a makeup pouch. There's nothing unsuitable for advertisers about this. Now, is there, YouTube? Plus, Bellessa's warranty is unmatched. 1 year, no hassle replacements, plus a 10-year quality guarantee. I have truly never seen that with any other brand. And unlike the subject of today's video, these adult toys require 0 assembly. I can't tell you how much of a relief that is after the injuries my fingers went through building these bricks. And yes, the cutest rumors are true. If your dog destroys your toy, which I'm not going to name any names with my pets, but that has happened to me before, Bellessa will actually send you a replacement in exchange for a photo of your dog. I could really respect that level of customer loyalty. So once again, thank you to Bellessa for sponsoring today's video. Bellessa is sending a free rose suction toy when you sign up for my giveaway using the link in the description and place an order. Make sure to grab yours while you can. The first set that I am building today is the 3-in-1 Jesus building set from HTOW PMLS. It was made in China, but there is some production and distribution information on the back that indicates that it might be going through Germany as well. This thing has great reviews, and no one seems to be talking about the AI generated little girl, but you know, she's kind of creepy. Like a Victorian ghost. Oi, I'm glad you've got this beautiful photograph with the Christian building blocks. And it only took 100 gallons of water. Everything was going great. I was having fun watching my little space videos on my TV. And I was putting together the Legos. Sorry. Generic plastic interconnecting bricks. And I just kept running into the issue of I couldn't find the specific piece it was looking for. I was so stressed about it. I recorded a bunch of videos of me like basically crying into the camera because I was so distraught, and I was talking to people about it on Discord and they were trying to help me like get the missing pieces, and like I was considering emailing the factory, and what ended up happening was I would just harvest pieces from my other sets that I had left over, and like I have a lot of like Animal Crossing sets, so it was light pastels and pinks and stuff, but that's okay. I think Jesus would want me to be creative and use what I have. And then eventually, later on, I found the missing pieces, but I liked how it looked with the other colors, so I kept it. So anyway, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is I was the one who was incompetent, and I'm trying to own up to that. Okay, so we're finished for now. I just discovered, probably a little too late, that when it says 3-in-1, that means you can take the set apart and then redo it in those other forms. And I'm not going to do that because, as you witnessed, this set put me through a lot of shit and I'm not ready to move on. And if this was for a child, I definitely think they would need parental supervision, and they would have to have a level of organization and planning that I don't know if a child could handle, because you have to keep all of the same bricks and you have to reorganize them for each time you want to do a new set, you know? Like I'd have to take this whole thing apart, keep all the pieces separate, and organize them properly, and then remake all the things. And if this was the only toy I had, because I was a sheltered fundy child, then yeah, I probably wouldn't mind taking it apart and redoing it again. So here's Jesus. He's creepy as hell. Oh wait, I think I forgot to put his hair on. White Jesus, because the bricks used for his skin are definitely pink. And those are his big eyes. And I guess this is how he stands. And then here's his Torah, maybe? I'm not sure what he would be reading. And yeah, here's his church. As you can see, the back has some colorful additions because I ran out of the little single pieces. Wow, here's two of them stuck together. So maybe I had them the whole time. All right, it's the moment of truth. We are going to grade this set, or rank it, I guess you could say. 5 categories from 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And remember, I am going off Paul Olegez's rules, so these numbers will have random point systems assigned to them. The categories are creativity, difficulty, blasphemy, enjoyment, and aesthetic. So as for creativity, is this the same thing that I keep seeing depicted over and over? Is this something unique? Is this a set that I am not seeing a lot of? And I will say this one is a 4.5 because you can actually play with it. It is creative. It's 3-in-1. And if I had actually put it together properly, we would also have Jesus's tomb and his little nativity nursery, right? And so I think that's pretty damn creative. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Difficulty, I originally was going to rank this like a 4, but I did find the pieces, so it actually wasn't that hard. Blasphemy, I think this is a 1. This doesn't depict a serious scene as a lighthearted situation. This is just Jesus chilling with the animals. And on that note, I will say that my enjoyment was a 4 out of 5. And by that, I just mean, did I actually like putting this together? And I will say it was the first one, so I haven't been jaded by all the other sets yet. And I actually had fun making it. So I would say a 4. And aesthetic, does this look good? Would I put this on a shelf if I wasn't doing it ironically? And I'm going to say 2. This thing definitely looks like a awkward Christian knockoff of a Lego set. And what's with Jesus's eyes, right? Like, can we talk about that? So far, set number 1 has 13.5 brick points. Set number 2 is probably the worst one I have built so far, and it's from Kaka People. That's Kaka People, and you can build your faith brick by brick. And once again, I'm not convinced that any of these images are real and not depicted by AI. A perfect gift for believers, ideal for Easter and Christmas, a meaningful alternative to candy or generic toys, first communion and baptism, a keepsake that commemorates spiritual milestones, church decor, an inspiring addition to any church office or classroom. And I will say that mine did not end up looking like this. The hands were all fucked up. The problem with this set is that everything kept literally falling off and flying across the room. And that's because of the way that Jesus is attached to the cross. I know, this whole thing is so ridiculous to even talk about. The 2 other crucifix sets that I worked on, you build Jesus independently and then you stick him on the cross with some sort of 4x4 piece. And in this case, you would build him incrementally and kind of like stick his abs on through one of those little like tubes. And then you would stick his legs on and then his arms, which I completely fucked the arms up. But yeah, this one just kept pissing me off. I was about to rage quit the entire time. Okay, moment of truth, because I've had trouble with these fucking ball joints, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna try to attach this, and I'm gonna hold his body, okay? I'm gonna try and keep it as competent as possible, but I just have a feeling that the pressure of me applying this fucking ball joint into this little socket here is going to knock his body off the cross. So let's attempt. Oh, something snapped. Okay, thank God it was only his crown of thorns. What is my job? Wow. Well, you know what? I'm surprised his legs didn't fall off. After all he went through. Wow. Is this a comedy? Wow! Stop falling off! Like, you can't see the Jesus name tag clearly enough. No! Oh my God. And of course, it's like, oh, it connects to his fucking abs that you build like an hour before this. I don't know what to do because it's so fucked up. I don't know how to fix it. Where's his arm? Okay. This is not going to survive the trip to my room.
I look pretty good for a dead bitch.
I built the Lego bonsai tree once, and that thing was extremely fucking fragile, and it fell apart, and I had to, like, the other day I put it back together, and I just guessed, and it does not look good. My rankings for this set would be a 2 in creativity, because there are quite a few crucifixion sets. I know that would seem like that would be hard to depict, but they do it all the time. Difficulty is a 5, and I did stop to consider, if a high number is good, then why would I give a high number to the difficulty if I want it to be graded badly? Shouldn't I be giving it like a 0? But that doesn't make sense with my ranking system. So either way, I'm giving it a 5 because I make up the rules here. As for blasphemy, I'm going to give it a 1 because it's a pretty standard scene in Christianity. Enjoyment, I would give a 0 because I did not enjoy this at all. And aesthetic, I would give a 3 because although he does look kind of crazy, this is a smaller set and it could easily be put on a desk or a, children's bookshelf. Okay, so the total brick points that this comes to is 11, which is only 2 points behind the last one. And so I have got to figure out my ranking system for the difficulty because those 5 points are actually helping this set. Wouldn't that be crazy? What if even I don't know who wins? All right, this next one is the Jesus Heart building set from Vonado. And this lady is definitely AI. What, you couldn't get anybody to actually build this set? Am I the first one to do it? As you can see, there's a lot of details that I did not end up figuring out how to put on. There's a chain that connects throughout the whole thing, plus there's dripping blood and thorns, and mine does not look like that. Yeah, and twist the base to turn on the light. Oh, see, I let the light die, actually. Oh boy. The main component of this build is the giant red heart, which was not too terribly difficult to figure out. A lot of the pieces were heart-shaped, and so it was easy to pop on, but there was a lot of, make this really intricate left side, now do the exact same thing, but reverse it on the other. Anyway, it was all just leading up to the moment where I got to put the watch battery in. Also, before I forget, okay, the light that is the light of Christ here, it's a watch battery, and to turn it on, I had to twist the top, okay? So, how do I turn it off? Because I'm aware this will last a little bit, but it will eventually die. And I'm just thinking, what? You build this for your grandma, she puts it on her shelf, and then eventually the light of Christ dies? I don't know. Maybe they should have put a button on it, is all I'm saying. The next worst thing that I had to build for this was the flames on the top. And the little cross was perfectly reasonable. I thought that was quaint. But the 70,000 indistinguishable pieces that make up this very confusing flame, it just wasn't doing it for me. Plus, I did it wrong. I've done a lot of this wrong. Okay, have you guys ever seen the meme that's like, I just made some bullshit? Well, that's what this is. All of these little, flame pieces are just some bullshit that isn't even required. I actually forgot how difficult this build was, and I remembered that I gave up because it was Friday night and James had come home, and so I really didn't care about the Lego build anymore, and I tried my best, but this thing just looks god awful. So I guess I would rank it creativity a 5. I thought it was a really cool idea, and you could just make a Lego heart and it would be fine. Difficulty, I would say 3, kind of average. Blasphemy, 1. I'll give it a, you know what? Let's get a little crazy. 1.5. And then enjoyment, 3, because honestly, it kind of faded to the background for me. And then aesthetic, I want to give a 5, because if I had completed this thing properly, it would look metal as fuck. Okay, even I'm a little shocked that this Sacred Heart is coming in as the winner right now. 17.5 brick points. This next set is another crucifixion, this time from a company called Conlanch, and this one, instead of a name tag like the other one has, it has RNRI, which is Latin for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. The base was huge. And that's kind of an awkward sentence to say, but like it's accurate. It was 50 pieces of green that was supposed to be the grass, and they were all layered differently and they were weirdly shaped. It was a whole thing, but that's none of your concern. You're here to see me build this monstrosity. It featured the same Lego Jesus template that the other one had, which makes me wonder if there's a Lego Jesus factory somewhere or what's going on with that. But ultimately, it was pretty easy to put together. It was just that damn bottom part was just hard to put together. This one also is removable, but I didn't see a way to mount it up on my wall, so I didn't. At the Easter Bunny crucified Jesus. I don't know. This one is the only crucifix so far that I agreed with how it was built. You make the cross, you make the Jesus, you put it on, you stick it in. What's hard about that? I appreciate how it's not too nipply, too abby, and I just think it's a little cartoony. You know, the other one was too realistic. This one, what's with the googly eyes? We already talked about the Easter Bunny. That shit's goofy as hell. But I want to talk about this, Bible that's down here? Jesus didn't read the Bible, bro. What is this? I do like that it can close. That's pretty technologically advanced, but I'm just confused on why this is here. This is not lore accurate. So anyway, here's my second crucifix. I'm not looking forward to the third because it looks a little more complicated. It's got a lot of abs. I would rank this one a 3 for creativity. Ooh, a Lego crucifixion. Like, I haven't seen that 50 times today. Difficulty, I would also rank a 3. It was very average. Blasphemy, I would rank also a 3 because why is there a Bible and an Easter Bunny there? Enjoyment, I would also rank a 3 just because I didn't hate it and I also didn't love it. Aesthetic, I'm gonna give a 3 just because I think it's funny to do 3s across the board. That gives set number 4 a total of 15 brick points, which doesn't surprise me. It's a good set. Okay, next up we have the Noah's Ark boat building blocks. Jesus religious story ship toys with animals and plants compatible with Lego baptism gifts, Easter gifts for girls and boys aged 6 from AOXEKBOLO. And I chose this one because it looked like one of the easier Noah's Ark sets and because I like the animals. I did not choose it because of this lovely artwork that features the creepy AI people assembling the bricks. Like, I can't get over them dead-eyed dissociating while their son builds this fake Lego set. He's also not doing well, it seems. I will say, before I show you, all of the animals are the same except the parrots. There's a purple and a blue parrot representing the different genders, I guess. So, I'll see you all on the other side. And I gotta say, I really did enjoy building this one. I liked making the boat. I liked making the little top part, although I did not connect it properly, which is not new if you've been watching this video. And I liked the animals, even if they were weirdly gender-coded. Except for they didn't have, like, circles on their bottom like a minifigure does, or even a square. And so it was hard to put them in the places they wanted to go, but overall, this was a really fun one to play with. That's pretty neat. Where does this even supposed to go? Hell yeah. And the top part just sits. Okay, let me put my little guys. They don't fit, but I probably did it wrong. And there's a crate full of fruit. You know, everybody knows that the Ark had carrots, bananas, cherries, and green apples. There's a broom, too, because you got to clean up all the animal shit. I assume we're just dumping that into the ocean at this point. And, oh, yeah, a shovel for shoveling shit as well. Here's my container of tools. Oh, my God! It's like my roof in real life. He likes to eat the plastic. It's associated with my Legos. All right, buddy. This is fun, I will say, but it is not without its problems, just like every other one of these sets. Why not? Let's just put a fucking pig on the roof. Oh, this just came off. Okay. It's like you can have the boat or you can have the animals. You can't have both with this set because it will fall apart. Am I doing it wrong, or is something wrong with the set? We can't know at this point because I'm not skilled enough at Legos to be able to say, oh, that's definitely a R35C piece. And you can no, like, what is it? Guess I'll move on. See what happens. It's time for the rankings for set number 5. And I'm just going to tell you right now, especially compared to the other bullshit that I had to build, this set is looking pretty great. I mean, and it was fun. Like, that's also true. I will give it a 5 for creativity. It's creative, it's fun, it's imaginative. You actually get to play with it. Difficulty, I would say 3, because actually, I'm going to say 2. Blasphemy, I would say probably a 2, just because Ken Ham hates childish depictions of the Ark. Enjoyment, I would say 5. I enjoyed it very much. Aesthetic, I'm going to say 4, because it's beautiful. Look at it. Look at all the animals. Which brings the grand total of brick points for this set to 18, which thank God, because I really needed this set to beat out the Jesus heart. The final addition to our video today will be the Jesus crucifixion building block set in style Jesus. And this is from a company called Tobokoi. Here is a picture of it, I guess, being built. Perfect size, I would say so. It's gigantic. And yes, you can kind of see his, like, Jesus crotch. It kind of, actually, not kind of, that looks a lot like Lego crotch. AI man seems to think that it's fun to pick Jesus up by his arms and fly him around like a sky dancer. One of my methods of success for this set was actually sitting down and sorting the entire thing before I began. Because, you know, I'm not against sorting the pieces, but a lot of these were kind of too much to handle. But this one I was like, I see a lot of pink skin tone here, so let me just sort all of these. It took like an hour to sort, but it was so worth it. And actually, it was kind of difficult to build Jesus, but the cross was seamless, the base was fine, and the only problem I had with building Jesus himself was that all of the instructions were the same for each body part, except they were reversed, so that was confusing. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I tried my best, and he looks a little crazy, but I mean, look at the material. We're nearing completion. This is me putting Jesus on the cross. I will say I talked a lot of shit. This one, easier than I thought it was going to be. This was not that bad, and I did fuck up a few parts, but it doesn't matter because you're not here to check. So this is the biggest, like, where am I going to put this? Well, this is what it looks like. And one of the little pieces that holds part of the crown of thorns broke off. That was the only problem I had. And I like his dangly bit here. I don't know if that's lore accurate. Where am I going to put this? And last but certainly not least, we have the official ranking for set number 6. I want to give it a 3 for creativity, just because it's been done many times. Difficulty, I would also give a 3, because it was about average. Blasphemy, I would say 0. It's not very blasphemous at all, except unless you want to count the weird Jesus giblets. Enjoyment, I would say a 4. It was okay, but I would rather have been doing something else. Aesthetic, I'm going to give a 5, because this thing is a conversation piece. This thing is massive, and it really ties the room together. Which gives this set a total of 15 brick points, which, fun fact, also ties it with the other crucifix set. The one that I didn't hate. So let's compare the results from all of the sets, and it looks like the set that I hated the most has the least amount of points, even though my point system is very flawed. And Noah's Ark won. Only because it beat out the heart by half a point. Isn't that wild? And then we got 2 ties, and then I'm a little shocked at the one at the front. 13.5. That's so low. Well, either way, congrats to Noah's Ark. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun at parts. I will say, it wasn't horrible. Okay. I enjoyed myself. I realized how goofy my job is when I was getting my blood drawn at the doctor's and they asked me and I wanted to be like, computer engineer and a birthday clown, like anything besides I'm assembling Christian Legos in my kitchen, maybe hoping to turn a profit. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun. Like I said, I needed something lighthearted to kind of distract from all the Duggar news. I know there's some things coming up in May, so whatever. We'll get to that. But right now we're having fun. The power of Lego Jesus compels us, and we shall sin no more, I guess. We have lots of merch available at fundyfridays.shop. Several of the shirts that I was wearing in today's video are available to purchase there. We have Patreon and YouTube memberships. They are the same price. They do the exact same thing, except for YouTube, you get cool emojis in the chat, but it gets you access to the Discord, where we have Monday night watch parties. There is a merch discount. There is access to a playlist of exclusive unlisted videos. There's just good vibes. It's awesome. You don't have to, of course. If you want to support us emotionally, then just leave a nice comment, like the video, all that good stuff. We feel it, feel the love. I am going to be working hard on some new content, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Plot twist, I was Googling Christian Legos, because surprisingly I hadn't done that yet. Because I was looking for like a Adam and Eve minifigure. I was going to try and make a joke about it, but that doesn't matter. The first thing I found was this website called BibleBricks.com. The pop-up is gone now, but apparently this is like a pre-order situation. And this company has two sets. The Tabernacle set, you can see it a little bit better here, and the Resurrection set, which is the cave. And these are not bad. These are like $25 each. And I'm definitely going to join the waitlist. But yeah, wasn't expecting that. I guess we have actual Christian branded Legos and not just the weird ones that I found. I thought I knew everything there was to know about Christian plastic interconnecting bricks. But now I guess there's just going to have to be a sequel.